Regular meeting number 36 will now come to order. Please stand for the playing of the national anthem. We have Reverend Charles Tatum. Reverend Charles Tatum? Is he with us? All right. Well, I'd ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence and reflection before we start our meeting this evening. Thank you. Clerk, call the roll.
Pardon, Page Paley, President Ginther.
Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading of the journal? Is there a second? Clerk, call the roll.
Pardon, Page Paley, President Ginther.
Thank you. This week's communications received by the City Clerk's office are listed on the agenda and will be published in the City Bulletin. Are there any other communications to be read into the record?
Not at this time.
Are there any resolutions or announcements from members of council? Councilmember Harden? Councilmember Page? Councilmember Paley?
I have a couple announcements and 2 resolutions. As chair of the Veterans Committee on City Council, it has been my goal to provide information and assistance to people we owe a debt of gratitude, our veterans. Tomorrow, Tuesday, July 22nd, I will be holding a public hearing on existing programs that are in place to assist veterans. This public hearing will be held in council chambers and will begin at 5:30. It will be available on your computer in live streaming format and will also be available for television viewing on CTV. Thank you. In recognition of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, we will hold a luncheon to celebrate this 50th anniversary and the CRC history on Thursday, July 30th. This luncheon will be held at the CSCC Center for the Workforce Development Building located at 315 Cleveland Avenue. Doors open at 11 a.m. with the program starting at 11:30 a.m. Our keynote speaker will be Ben Espy, and tickets are $20 each. For questions or to order tickets, please contact the CRC office at 645-1996. And my first resolution is Resolution 021X 2015 to recognize and commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The resolution, first I'll ask for passage.
Second. Pardon, Page Paley, President Ginther.
The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was signed into law by the United States President Lyndon B. Johnson on August 5th, 1965. The act prohibits racial discrimination in voting. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 prohibits states from imposing any voting qualifications or prerequisites to voting to deny or abridge the right of any citizen of the United States to vote on account of race and color. 50 years later, the Voting Rights Act is still an essential piece of legislation that has been renewed 4 times since its passing, most recently in 2006, and is set to expire in 2031. We recognize the great contribution and achievements of our government leaders and civil rights activists for promoting and encouraging participation in the democratic system and defending voter rights now. Therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Columbus, we recognize and commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Director Bell, do you have anything to add?
Yes, President Ginther, Council Member and Chair Paley, I appreciate that. We, as the City of Columbus Community Relations Commission, we are holding our 50th anniversary and commemoration of the Voting Rights Act, and we understand the importance of it as our office enforces a civil rights code for the City of Columbus, so that we also impact and fight for the rights of those to be able to vote and have equal access to voting. And we understand that also there are others that are dwindling away at the Voting Rights Act, so we continue to aggressively approach those to be able to continue to have access and equal access and opportunity to get out to vote. So we hope that everyone can come down to the 50th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, the commemoration thereof. We are having so many different leaders and past commissioners from the commission, but also from around the city and state involved in this. So we thank you for the presentation there and commemoration of the Voting Rights Act. Thank you.
Thank you. The next resolution is 0203X 2015. Director Bass, could you approach with your family members the podium to recognize and celebrate the retirement of Ms. Jaquilla Bass, Deputy Director of the Department of Human Resources, on July 31st, 2015, after 30 years of dedicated public service to the City of Columbus and the state of Ohio. Mrs. Bass is a native of Columbus, Ohio, and graduated from Columbus's East High School. Ms. Bass then went on to the University of Cincinnati, where she received a bachelor's degree. And having over 20 years of senior level management experience, Ms. Bass has overseen a number of operations, including employee benefit and risk management, occupational safety and health, equal employment opportunities, and employee training and development. During her tenure as Deputy Director, Mrs. Bass guided and nurtured the citywide training program offered by the City of Columbus. This program provides training and development courses for employees of small businesses throughout Columbus. Ms. Bass has also worked with a number of organizations to promote and facilitate the City of Columbus's internship program. And managing budgets of up to $150 million for the Department of Human Resources, Mrs. Bass has saved the City of Columbus a great deal of capital, utilizing a number of annual cost-saving techniques. These techniques include rebates, rate adjustments, and refunds, thorough management of the occupational safety program, wellness initiatives, proper Bureau of Workers' Compensation claims and management, and Mrs. Bass, being a strong advocate for those in need, has provided encouragement, consultation, and direction to youth, young adults, single parents, and married couples throughout the Columbus community. Therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Columbus to recognize and celebrate the retirement of Ms. Jaquilla Bass after 30 years of dedicated public service and doing her part in making Columbus the best place to work, live, and raise a family. I move for passage.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Councilmember Harden.
Thank you, Chairperson Paley. Director Bass, thank you. On behalf of all the citizens of Columbus, thank you. When I think of a public servant, someone who wakes up every day just to give back and to do the work, I think of you. You have meant so much to me as a mentor. We worked for years on the Summer Youth Jobs Program when I was in the administration. But I greatly appreciate your service and sacrifice, because public service is a sacrifice of your time and your energy from your family and from other things. But I really appreciate it. Congratulations, you've earned it. I'll be interested to see what this next stage looks like for you. But congratulations. Thank you.
Council President Ginther.
Just want to say a word of thank you to you and your family for sharing you with the people of Columbus. We've said oftentimes we have the best city employees of any city in the country, and the way you get the best city employees is having outstanding leadership in your human resources, and you've been a great leader for this city, and we're grateful to you. You've left our city in better shape than you found it, and not many folks can do that after life's work, so thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you.
Ms. Bass, the floor is yours.
Wow. First, I'd like to introduce my husband, Reverend Derek Bass, senior husband of 32 years. And 30 years of public service, that is a commitment. 15 of it was with the state of Ohio. And in those years, I traveled around the state a lot, and it was a sacrifice with the family. But those mornings I had to get up and head out, and he was left with our daughter to comb her hair and get her ready for school, and that's a whole nother story, but it worked out well. And then to finish 15 with the city, one that I was born in, raised in, graduated from schools in, went away to college and came back to, and now to serve in, that's awesome. So I would like to, council, thank you for just taking the time out to thank me. I would like, of course, to thank Mayor Coleman, who gave me the opportunity to serve. The leadership within all of the city departments who've partnered with us on a lot of programs and initiatives in human resources to make it a greater place to work. Former director Chet Christie, who served as a mentor for me for many years. And then our current director, Nicole Brandon, who has a dynamic HR team. And with all of the new challenges and new opportunities in human resources as we see it today in the laws, I have no doubt that she will take it to yet a new level. And of course, to my family for their support and their encouragement. So I thank you for this. And the Bible says that to everything there is a season. And I truly believe that my season, at least this chapter, is now ready to close, and we'll see what the next chapter brings. So again, thank you so much for this.
I do want to do a special thank you to your husband for sharing you with us. We appreciate that. And for those of you who have not ever been to one of our employee appreciation ceremonies, it's just amazing to see how many people have been with the city for 20, 30, 40, sometimes even 50 years, and how much you, Mrs. Bass, appreciate them and show them that in that ceremony. I think people work harder when they know they're appreciated. So I thank you for all that you've done for all of us, and come back and visit.
Thank you.
That's all I have right now. Council President Ginther.
Thank you, Councilmember Paley. Any comments from our elected officials? Auditor Dorian? City Attorney Pfeiffer? Any requests from members of council for the removal of an ordinance or resolution from the consent action portion of the agenda? Seeing none, may we have a motion to waive reading of the titles of 30-day legislation by the city clerk? Is there a second? Clerk, call the roll.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Thank you. Will the clerk now read into the record the ordinance numbers of 30-day legislation on tonight's agenda for first reading?
Health and Human Services Committee, Ordinance 1860-2015. Technology Committee, Ordinance 1296-2015. Public Utilities Committee, Ordinances 1721, 1722, 1723, 1736, and 1768-2015. Development Committee, Ordinances 1788, 1789, 1790, 1820, 1821, 1850, and 1902-2015. Rules and Reference Committee, Ordinance 2030-2015. Zoning Committee, Ordinances 1392, 1762, 1859, 1862, 1863, 1869, 1901, 1917, 1922, 1924, 1925, 1926, 1928, 1935, 1941, 1942, 1946, and 1947-2015.
The following ordinances appear on our agenda as consent actions. Will the clerk now read the ordinance numbers of each into the record?
Resolution of Expression 199X-2015, Finance Committee, Ordinance 1700-2015, Public Service and Transportation Committee, Ordinance 1611, 1728, 1744-2015, Small and Minority Business Development, Ordinance 1639-2015, Technology Committee, Ordinances 1620, 1625, 1630, 1659, and 1669-2015, Public Utilities Committee, Ordinances 1514, 1521, 1522, 1525, 1538, 1569, 1588, 1589, 1593, 1596, 1597, 1599, 1622, 1643, 1648, 1701, 1720, 1732-2015, Development Committee, Ordinance 1774-2015, Environment Committee, Ordinance 1540-2015, and appointments from the Mayor's Office numbered A0104, 105, and 106-2015.
Thank you. And just to confirm, I don't believe our consent, the one speaker we had on the consent agenda has withdrawn her name. Oh, okay. May I have a motion for approval of these items designated as consent actions? Is there a second? Clerk, call the roll.
Hardin, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Consent agenda carries. We will now proceed with the second reading of 30-day table and emergency legislation. The first committee is the Technology Committee, and Councilmember Hardin will be bringing forth legislation from Technology this evening.
Thank you, President Ginther. Tonight in the Technology Committee, we have Ordinance 1344-2015 to authorize the Director of the Department of Technology to renew and modify an agreement with SecureWorks, Inc. to provide managed technology security services in order to continue compliance with federal and state regulatory requirements, to waive the competitive bidding provisions of the Columbus City Code, and to authorize the expenditure of $284,533.34 from the Department of Technology Information Service Division Internal Service Fund. If there are no questions or comments, move for passage.
Hardin, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Thank you, President. That's all for Technology Committee.
Thank you, Councilmember Hardin. Our next committee is the Public Utilities Committee. Councilmember Paley will be bringing forth legislation from Public Utilities this evening.
Thank you, Council President Ginther. On Public Utilities this evening, we have Ordinance 1516-2015 to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into a construction contract with Kokosing Construction Company, Inc. for the Alum Creek Pump Station Improvements Project, to authorize a transfer of $1,208,554.42 within various divisions of water bond funds, to authorize the appropriation and transfer of $8,566,445.58 from the Water System Reserve Fund to the Water Works Enlargements Voted Bonds Fund, and to authorize an expenditure of up to $9,775,000 for the Division of Water, and to authorize an amendment to the 2015 capital improvements budget. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Hardin, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Next, I have Ordinance 1564-2015 to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into a construction contract with the George J. Eigel and Company for the 2015 general construction project for the Division of Sewage and Drainage, to authorize the transfer within and the expenditure of up to $2,193,215 from the Sanitary Sewer General Obligation Bond Fund, and to amend the 2015 capital improvements budget. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Next, we have ordinance 1565, 2015, to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into a professional engineering services agreement with Black and Veatch Corporation for the Blacklick Creek Sanitary Interceptor Sewer Professional Construction Management Service Project, to authorize the transfer within the expenditure of up to $2,812.32 from the Sanitary Sewer General Obligation Bond Fund for the Blacklick Creek Sanitary Interceptor Sewer Professional Construction Management Services Project, and to amend the 2015 capital improvements budget. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Next, we have ordinance 1651, 2015, to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into an agreement for professional engineering services with the Brown and Caldwell, Ohio LLC for the Scioto Main Sanitary Pump Stations Project, to authorize appropriation and transfer of funds from the Sanitary Sewer Reserve Fund to the Sanitary Sewer General Obligation Bond Fund, the transfer from the Build American Bonds Fund, from the Sanitary Recovery Zone Super Build American Bonds Fund, from the Sanitary Sewer Permanent Improvements Fund, a total expenditure not to exceed $1,792,224.98, and to amend the 2015 capital improvements budget. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
And finally, I have ordinance 1710, 2015, to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into a construction contract with the Ryder Company Incorporated for the Upper Scioto West Air Quality Improvements Project, to authorize the appropriation and transfer of funds from the Sanitary Sewer Reserve Fund to the Sanitary Sewer Obligation Bond Fund, and to authorize the expenditure of $2,361,600 from the Sanitary Sewer General Obligation Bonds Fund, and to amend the 2015 capital improvements project. This legislation authorizes a construction contract for the Upper Scioto West Air Quality Improvements Project. The project will construct replacement biofilters for the existing air quality control facilities on the Upper Scioto West Interceptor Sewer at shafts 2 and 11. The new facilities will be more compartmentalized, enabling DOSD to maintain both air quality control facilities more efficiently and effectively. The number of odor complaints from neighbors has risen dramatically over the last few years. By rebuilding the existing biofilters and constructing changes to address their deficiencies, the cities will be improving the environment of the nearby neighborhoods. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
That's all I have in utilities, Council President Ginther.
Thank you, Councilmember Paley. I'll be bringing forth legislation from the Development Committee this evening. We have 1852-2015 to accept the application, the AN 15-003 of Irene Jasis et al. For the annexation of certain territory containing 16.3 plus or minus acres in Franklin and Norwich townships. I move to request to table indefinitely. Clerk, call the roll.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Legislation is tabled indefinitely. Finally, this evening, we have the Recreation and Parks Committee. Councilmember Page chairs that committee. Madam Chair, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Ginther. We have one ordinance in Recreation and Parks this evening, and it's regarding the development and improvements to the Wilson Road Parkland. And it's ordinance 1612-2015 to authorize the current appropriation and transfer of $534,650 from the city's Westside Community Fund 276 to the Recreation and Parks Grant Fund 283 for the development of Wilson Road Parkland. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Second.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Thank you, Councilmember Page. Is there anything else to come before council this evening? We do have 6 non-agenda speakers that will take momentarily, and we will reconvene for regular meeting number 37, zoning, at 6:30. Entertain a motion to adjourn? Second? Clerk, call the roll.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
We stand adjourned. Regular meeting number 37 will now come to order. Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading of the journal? Is there a second? Clerk, call the roll.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Any communications and reports received by the city clerk?
No, there are not.
Any readings, first readings of 30-day legislation?
No, there are none.
Now go to the zoning committee. I chair the committee. All members serve on the committee. First this evening, we have 1764-2015 to rezone 1151 Georgesville Road, 43228, being 0.75 plus minus acres located at southwest corner of Georgesville and Hall Roads from R Rural District to CPD Commercial Plan Development District. The applicant is Custom Build Homes Incorporated, care of Dave Perry Company Incorporated, 145 East Rich Street, 3rd floor, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. The proposed use is limited commercial development. The Development Commission recommended approval. City Department's recommendation is approval. Greater Hilltop Commission recommended approval. No questions or comments regarding this legislation? I move for passage. Clerk, call the roll.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Passed. Next, we have 1834-2015 to rezone 936 North 4th Street, 43201, being 0.08 plus or minus acres, located on the east side of North 4th Street, 40 plus or minus feet south of East 2nd Avenue from R4 Residential District to CPD Commercial Plan Development District. The applicant is Kevin Nessner, 3123 Cranston Drive, Dublin, Ohio, 43017. Proposed use is eating and drinking establishment with apartment above. The Development Commission recommended approval. City Department's recommendation is approval. The Italian Village Commission recommended approval. Any questions, comments regarding the legislation? If not, I move for passage. Clerk, call the roll.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
Passed. Anything else to come before zoning this evening? Entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. Clerk, call the roll.
Harden, Page, Paley, President Ginther.
We stand adjourned.